All right, Team War Dogs, 12U Girls Basketball Season 22 to 23. I want to run you through the Havoc or Diamond Full Court Press Defense. Now, we're not going to do this every time. We went over the 2-3 defense already. This is the full court defense. So let's say the opponent is playing defense right now. The opponent is playing defense. Let's say they have a 2-3 zone, okay? Well, let's say we score. We shoot. Let's grab a basketball on here. We shoot and we score, okay? Now the opponent, usually the 2 is going to take the ball out of bounds, right? Excuse me. The ball is going to go out of bounds. The opponent's going to have the ball. And we're going to automatically start trekking backwards to get back down court, right? We're all going to start fading off, and as well as some of these players are also going to start coming back as well. The 1 is going to hang back to get the ball inbounded. Now, as this starts happening, let's say we just now scored. Let's say Farah shot and Aisha was down there too. So Aisha's starting to come back, Farah's starting to come back, and Hannah was the one that passed it in. And let's say Aubrey's coming back, okay? And Emma, you're on your way back too. And of course, Avery, you could be Aubrey in this scenario. Natalie, you could be Hannah. Ava, you could be Emma. And Maddie, you could be Aisha. Amaya, you could be Farah, right? So remember what your number is. You're right over here on this side of the board right here. So keep in mind what position you play. But then coach starts yelling from the sideline, hey, diamond, 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 right? I'll just draw it out so you get the visual. Coach Sam starts yelling, diamond, 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 diamond. Okay, so then what's going to happen is the 3 is going to go to ball immediately. So that would be you, Emma or Ava. Emma or Ava, you are the captain of this diamond defense play. So you make a beeline straight for the ball. Go straight to the ball. So you come straight up here and you hopefully stop the inbound, okay? And then what it's going to look like is Farah or Amaya on the diamond defense. I want you to go all the way back and be my safety, okay? So don't stop. If I yell diamond, diamond, that means I need you to get back to our hoop as fast as possible to defend, okay? So get down here and play defense, all right? And then I'm going to need the 2 and the 1 to get set up in zone. So 2, you are closest, and let's say that, the 5 on the other team is slowly going back, and the 4 is already heading back, right? And probably the 3 is the last one to go. The 3 is probably right around here or something, okay? Well, in this case, what I would want to see is Hannah, I want you to come up immediately to the 1 who's going to be inbounded too. Okay, and whoever's back here, if you're a 1, I want you focusing on the 3. And the 4, I want you to go to the middle. 4, I want you to hang out right here. And now that we've got this set up, because now 2 is taking away 1, 3 is probably going to come up and try to give help, right? I hope you can understand that. So again, if 2 is trying to throw the ball into 1, but Emma is all over 2, or Ava is all over 2, and then Hannah takes away the pass, and so 2 cannot throw to 1, then probably 3 is going to run up to help, and that's why I want 1 on 3 in that scenario, okay? So what it ends up looking like, if you can imagine this, now that I've got it, I'm going to put it into its zone, and now what we have is, look at this. We have a diamond defense. There's your diamond. And it ends up looking like this. You have a zone here. You have a zone here. You have a zone here. Another zone here. And then a zone in the back. So this is your 5 zone. This is your 4 zone. This is your 2 zone. This is your 1 zone. This is your 3 zone. Okay? All right, so now that we have our zones lined up, you can kind of understand exactly how it fits in. So the 3 player is responsible. Let me make sure I got my pencil right here. The 3 player is responsible for anything in this zone, okay? But the 1s and the 2s have a slightly different responsibility, okay? What they have responsibility for is to kind of move the players. Any of these people, force a sideline. Push them to a sideline as much as you can. So don't, if your player's right here and here, don't go play defense here. This is a very bad angle because if they get the ball, then they are straight down the middle, right? And then over here, and then they can bounce. I mean, that's a terrible mistake right there, okay? So what we want you to do, like I said, is stay in the middle and push them over. So you want to push them over, and I'll just keep it just like this. So we push you over, we push them over to the sideline, and then hopefully force a corner. And then when that ball is inbounded, right here, 2-1, then 3 you can run over and just set that trap. Okay. Now before we do all that, we'll set this up so you understand the zone again. So this is your diamond right here, as I said a moment ago. Let's see here. There is your diamond, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to stay 3, Emma or Ava. You don't have to stay exactly there, because what I'm going to want you to do is get on the ball when it's being inbounded, okay? And naturally, we're going to have a 2 and a 1 covering anybody that can be passed in. So Emma and Ava, I want you to champion this whenever you're in. I want you to be the point on that diamond, all right? Make sure it's a hard time for this 2 to throw the ball in. Once the ball gets inbounded, we're going to immediately force aside. The 3 is going to come over. The 2 is going to be the closer. The 3 is going to be mover. And we're going to get that closed into a trap right here. If the 2 comes in, then the 1 is going to be watching for both of these passes. The 3 is no doubt going to come around here probably. So Aubrey, you can come over, or Avery, whoever it is, you can come over and kind of float. Now in this case, you're still, your 1 is going to be here. Your 4 is still watching for this pass. And it's okay if we pass backwards. That's totally fine, because guess what happens? 3 comes right back over. And we're back to square 1, and they are still out of luck. Okay, so again, it's totally fine if we allow a back pass. So you don't need to go cover this back person right here. If it's passed backwards, we have extra time to come across and stop. All right, and the best case scenario would be you're in here, your zone, and this 2 floats over a little. You don't run in front yet, you wait. Once that ball is passed, then you grab and you snatch the ball right here, and then you can just take it right in for an easy basket right here. So the whole point of this is to get fast break points, basically, if that makes sense. Fast break points is where we didn't have to go play defense all the way down here. We didn't have to play defense here. We were able to get the points scored. We scored points right here, and then we played defense so close we scored more points right here without even having to go all the way back down the court. All right. So again, this is called Diamond or Havoc or 1-2-1-1. You're going to most often hear me call Diamond, Diamond, Diamond. All right. The first defender, which is going to be Emma or Ava, right? And we're going to reset this back to where it was. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go, something like that. All right, so the first defender, which is going to be number 3, and again, that's either Emma or Ava, you're going to be attacking the ball. First defender attacks the ball, and whether that's inbounded, whatever side it's inbounded on, you are on ball. Okay, now most of the steals from this play are going to come from your 4 player. Okay, here's your 4 player right here. Because once this ball is inbounded over here and we set the trap right here, this bad pass they're going to try to pass the ball up court, all right, to number 4. And what we're going to hope for is when this ball is flying through the air, number 4 grabs the ball right here and simply passes it back down to 3, who just cuts right in for a basket, okay? So that's most of your steals are going to come from 4. So Aisha or Maddie, it is really, really important that you stay at the half-court line and you be watching for any of these side players. So say 4 is behind and you're right here, you're well positioned, but 4 slides in, right? Then you need to be right on 4. Make sure you follow 4 around this zone to make sure if that ball does come out from the 1 to the 4, you can quickly jump in front and intercept the ball. Okay, so 4, think of yourself as a half-court line in this defense. Now 5. I want to talk about you. The safety must stay as deep as the deepest defender. That's number 1. and not give up any layups, right? So if somehow 3 ends up getting the ball and comes in for a layup, 5, you are responsible to make sure we don't get any layups on our team, right? Now, that's not going to happen that often. This play is very successful, but it's only successful if we are minding our P's and Q's up here under 1s, 2s, 3s, okay? But listen, so let's say Farah or Amaya, you play up here for defense, and the 5 opponent is underneath you. This can be a disaster because if the ball does successfully get to 1 to 4 and then to 5, there's nobody defending. So that's why it's super important that you never are higher than the defender. Always be guarding our hoop and be lower than the defender. So stay low, stay underneath them. Don't ever let them go underneath you. That's a disaster. Okay, so always, number 1, as the safety, never be any higher than a defender. Always be lower, always be deeper than the deepest defender. Always be deeper than the deepest defender. That means, of course, if the 4 is up here and the 5 is up here, then you can play high with the 4. Right? You can play high with the 4. But as soon as a defender gets deeper than you need to get back faster than them. So it's very, very important that the 5 position in this game, you are the eyes and ears for everyone on the court because you are the furthest back, which means you have vision for the entire court. So it's really important that you're looking across the whole court and then communicating to all your team members about what's going on where. All right, so 5, this position, you might feel like, oh, I'm way back down here and I'm not doing anything in this. Like I said, you're actually one of the most valuable positions in this play because you are watching the whole thing. And you know if it's going to break down or not. And if it does break down, you can communicate to your team about why it broke down and fix that play so that coach doesn't have to call a timeout. Okay, the second line defenders must take good angles. So this is what I'll end with. This is a very, very important part of this. Your 1s and 2s. So in this case, it'd be Aubrey and Hannah, or it might be Avery and Natalie. It's extremely important that you take good angles on your close, okay? Because let's say this ball is inbounded right here, okay? And let's say that Emma tries to run this ball back and over, right? She's going to be pushing and moving. But if you don't get back fast enough to close, by the time you get to the sideline, if you come and take this angle right here, by the time you get to the sideline, they're already going to be past you. And then you're going to try to close, but now you're behind them, and your opponent broke our trap. So it's super important that you don't run at this opponent. Do not run at this opponent, okay? Because as soon as the ball is inbounded from 2 to 1, Emma is going to chase that ball down. So all I need from her is to run that ball to the side and keep it along the sideline. And because you had the advance, I want you to run back here and be prepared to come up and set the close. There's your close. There's your trap. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Again, if you are in one of these zones, 1 or 2, I do not want you to run straight at this defender if they get the ball. That is not what you're here for. You are here to take a better angle, okay? So 3 runs back to chase him down. 3 chases him. And now 3 can never get in front of him, but that's fine. I don't want her in front of him. I want her just keeping 1 on the sideline, and I want 2 to be the one that comes and sets that trap up right there. Sets the close. Okay? Same exact thing on the other side. If the ball manages to bounce pass out to here, and the opponent number 3 gets it, excuse me, then I don't want Aubrey coming up here to move the player over because they will get past, and then everybody's behind. What I want to have happen here is if 3 gets the ball, all I need from Aubrey is to stay in front of her. Stay in that lane right here to prevent her from going down. Now, take a good angle to move her over a bit, right? But you're only doing it so that Emma can catch up over here, or Ava, and push the opponent over to the sideline. And then you, Aubrey or Avery, you are the closer. So you're acting like a mover for a minute, but not for long. Right? You just take away the middle, all right? And so ultimately you are driving them over towards the sideline. So this is kind of like what this zone looks like for you 1s and 2s, okay? I meant to make that a thinner line. Let's do that real quick. So ones and twos, that's your role, is to kind of deny the middle here. 4, same thing. Stay in the middle, ladies. Always stay in the middle. 3, you're just ball attack. You attack the point of the ball. Ones and twos, you may have to move for a minute, but you're primarily a closer. 4, you are guarding this entire section right here. If the press breaks, I need you to take the middle away from the team and push people to the sideline. So then yours would look something like this. Right, you keep everybody out of there. And then the 5, of course, you're just keeping everybody away from the hoop, okay? All right, hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Remember, again, we can easily exchange these names and just, put other people in place. So I'll just do that real quick so you see what it looks like a little bit. So Amaya, you would be back here. And Ava, you would be on point with the ball. Natalie, you're closing one side. But remember, it's really important to take an angle back and not just go straight for the opponent. Take an angle back because Ava's coming back. And Ava's going to be that mover, actually. And you're closing. So you might have to move a little bit. Move that person over. If they're right here, you might have to take that angle, push them over a little bit. But remember not to take the low angle. To take a low angle, not a high angle. Don't go high on this person. Go low, go deep, and push them over that way, right? Taking away the middle, so kind of moving, but then Ava comes up to help you move, and then you become that closer. Then we set that trap if that ball is in their hands, okay? All right, same thing with Avery on your side. If this ball is inbounded, right, and they get the ball, you're kind of moving a little bit, but you're really just staying in front. Don't let her go past you, right? But you want to take that angle right here like this, not just like this, to help move her over, right? So she starts moving over. That's fine, but you still have to stay in front of her. That's what I mean by taking a good angle. Don't go straight at her. You go straight at her, she'll go around you, and then you're going to be behind her. So make sure you go in front of her. Go in front of her, and then Ava will catch up to you, and she'll push you over. Either that, or if Ava's way behind, then Natalie can come over and help you close, and then Ava can get back here. And remember, if we have an open player here, that's fine. Let's let them pass the ball backwards. That's great, because now we can jump on here. And now the ball's even lower, and if we can steal the ball here, then we can easily shoot and score, because this is their hoop, remember? Maddie, what you'll be doing is you'll be covering this entire middle section, but from the middle. We want to deny the middle. And then Amaya, you would be not allowing any layups, anybody to lay up any shots here, and always stay deeper than your opponent. If your opponent's here and you're too high, then that opponent can easily score if that ball somehow makes it down to her. Then you're in trouble. So always stay lower than your defender. Now, if your defender's way up here, you can float all the way to right around the three-point line right here. But I don't want you floating past the three-point line on this zone defense, okay? Even if your 5 comes way up here, I still want you around this three-point line. But if that player drops in at all, I want you much deeper than that opponent. Always stay deeper than the opponent. Guard our hoop like the defender that you are. Okay, that is the diamond defense. This is the full court press. So if I yell press, 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 or diamond, 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 that is what that means, okay? Just for the visual, I'm going to draw this out for you. Terrible diamonds, but it is what it is. Diamond, 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 right? Whoa, that was really rough, okay? Or press, press, press. Full court press means, of course, that we are, see here. Full court press means, of course, that we are pressing down court. Full court press. Instead of just the half court press, which would be just playing defense on our zone, pretty much, right? We don't even refer to it as a half court press, but that is what the difference is, right? Full court means that we are pressing, we are pressuring all the way the full length of the board. Now, it's really, really important that we don't allow players to get lower than us, okay? It's really, really important. If the players are all, lower than us in our zones, then we're in trouble, right? If we're too high up here, they get the ball, and then they're just down court way too fast, and then we'll lose to this. And then Amaya is under a lot of pressure. Amaya or Farah, of course, is under a lot of pressure down there to protect, because then it's going to be a potentially 2-on-1 situation, or even maybe a 3-on-1 if we don't get back fast enough. So really important that we're fast. My threes, Emma and Ava, we rely on you to attack the ball wherever it is. Run that ball down as fast as possible. Ones and twos, you got to take good angles to get back and move these people over. Right? Take good angles to move them over to the sideline, and then close them out as soon as Ava comes to help. And then 4, just make sure you keep that middle clear and move anybody over if they come in. Alrighty, that is the diamond defense, full court press. And this, ladies, can get us a lot of extra points. So please, if you need to rewatch this video, make sure you watch it before each game. Thank you very much.